In today's video, we're going to be installing some PBM coilovers on the 240. Right now, my car is on Megan Street coilovers that I got for a very good deal back when I bought the car, so I threw them on the car just to get it low. But now it's time to upgrade to PBMs. So there's actually two reasons as to why I'm upgrading to PBMs. One being that they are stiffer, meaning I can be as low as I am, maybe even lower, and not destroy my kit and not be bouncing all over the freeway. There's a difference from bouncing on the freeway and having a stiff ride. So with PBMs, it's gonna absorb the bump and it's gonna go away. Now with my current PBMs, they're most likely blown, so when I hit a bump, it just bounces, and that's not what you want. At least I don't want that. So that's why I'm going to PBMs. And not only that, you get more camber. Yes, you can get different top hats and slot the mount for the knuckle and get more camber, but I'd rather just have the PBMs. I am planning on staying as low as I am right now. I'm not planning on going any lower. These coilovers that I had go low enough, as you guys can see. So I'm planning on just sticking with how my car looks right now. I'm just going to be switching coils. Just in case anyone is wondering, I am running Megan Street coilovers, fully maxed camber with 40mm extended lower control arms, and this is the camber that I have. I want to say it's about 6 degrees, negative 6 degrees. Obviously I want more, so here I have the coilovers. This is going to be a pretty simple video. All I'm going to do is just swap them. Now, for those who don't know, doing coils on a S13 at least, maybe S14, is probably the most simple thing you could ever do. Any simple coilover install. And yes, I know there is a bunch of videos on YouTube about how to install coilovers on your 240 and this and that. And the main reason I'm making this video is just to compare my old Megans to PBMs, just in case anyone has Megans and wants to upgrade to PBMs, but they don't know if it's worth it. So I did it just because I wanted these regardless, just a stiffer ride. With being low, it just kind of helps out. It's better, all around better. The lower you go, the stiffer you want to be. Just Megans, these at least just aren't stiff enough. They go pretty low, they're not stiff enough. That's the main thing. Some of the difference that I could tell just right off the bat is this top hat. Look at this. I can like, and this one you have to like grab it hard just to be able to move it. Obviously these are new. Obviously these are really old and used, but this bolt bearing right here, this bearing is shot. This right here is why PBMs get more camber than Megans. So Megans, they stop right here just like any old coilover, not just Megans, all of them. Now PBMs, they slide over even more. So you get about 2 degrees more camber just on the top hat alone. And if you look down here, it's in the holes are in the same place. Now for the PBMs, one's over here and one's in more. So that naturally gives you 2 degrees more camber. So you get roughly 4 degrees more of camber if you max everything out. I got the fronts installed and you could just tell right off the bat that there's so much more camber. Like this, I already have more camber here, way more clearance, like a bunch of clearance, and it's not even maxed out. I could still go a lot more. So yeah, these wheels are really aggressive, and this is almost pretty much maxed out camber, and they look like they're little tiny wheels. Like, it doesn't even have good fitment anymore. It's just sunken in. And these are 17 by 9.5 plus 15, 40mm extended lower control arms, which push out the wheel a bunch, and they just look like they're little wheels. Like I could stick almost my whole entire hand in here. So they have so much more camber. Now that the front is done, it's time to do the rear coils. So hopefully I could go a little bit lower than this. I'd like to go a little bit lower. But with this setup, it's just way too soft, and on the freeway, it's not very fun. But you guys can see, I have too much negative camber in the rear that I don't like. I'm trying to take some of that out, but I need tow arms, so arms in there, maybe some traction arms. I can get it aligned, pull a lot of rear camber out, and then keep the front how it is, just fix my toe, make sure both sides camber is matching. But yeah, now it's time to throw on these PBMs. Alright guys, all the coilovers are now on, and I don't know why, but I just love seeing this, like when the wheels are like nice and low, yet the car's off the ground. I guess you can call it like the no preload or preload, whatever. I just think it looks really cool because like I feel like a lot of people, they're not even this low like with the weight on the car, and this is with no weight, so that's cool. Like this truck, when I jack it up from the whole axle, I like that this is the same fitment, yet it's in the air. So I don't know, I'm a butthurt for that, but the main thing is the camber. So now I shouldn't really rub at all because now I have a lot of clearance. I know it might not look like a lot to a few people that aren't really used to lower cars, but for some people, for those of you who know about low cars and stuff, like this is there's a lot of clearance here. And the perfect thing is it looks cool, it looks low, and it's somewhat good fitment, but it's not rubbing on the fender constantly, and I could probably drift it like the way it's set up right now. So I'm gonna drive it right now, see if it's as low as I think it is. I don't know if the rear is gonna go any lower, but maybe with some weight on it, it will go a tiny bit lower, but their PBMs are pretty stiff, so I highly doubt it's gonna drop much more than that. But yeah, that's a cool shot right there. I'm probably gonna end up going to the Chino wash my car, and I'll probably just bring you guys along, let you guys know how it feels, see if it scrapes much more than it did before. But yeah, man, I love this car. Out of all the cars I have, there will never be a car that I like as much as this one. This is literally my favorite one, like my dream car. Like this one right here is another 240. I don't even care about this one. It's just this one in particular. My first 240 I don't care about. I just care about this one. Yeah, time to pack up. Not back up, just time to clean up my mess that I made and take this thing for a wash because it hasn't been washed in a while. I just got back from Arizona, so this thing needs some McLovin. Here it is, guys. The coilovers are a little bit lower on the rear from what my car used to be, just a tiny bit, but this is fully maxed out with one collar only, which is the one holding up the spring. So this is literally as low as these can go before you have to get a shorter spring and droop the spring. As for the front, I can probably go 1 more inch before I have to even remove collars, which the front obviously goes a lot lower because I have extended lower control arms, so that makes it go a lot lower. And if anyone's wondering, this is maxed out camber with 40mm lower control arms, like I said. And this is 8 degrees of camber, roughly. I haven't gotten it aligned, but just from the math that I did and everything, this is what 8 degrees of negative camber looks like on a stock body 240. I honestly think it's the perfect amount. I was shooting for double digits, but I think this is good enough for now. Obviously, I could hit double digits pretty easily since I'm literally right at 8, but I think, like I said, this is a very good point to just call it a happy medium. At least for me, it's a happy medium. I know a lot of people think it's a lot, and yes, it is a lot, but this isn't my daily. It's just like a weekend fun car. Alright guys, here's the car with the PBMs on. -8 in the front roughly, and I want to say, I'm just guessing on the rear, I want to say probably like -4. So the PBMs are a tiny bit stiffer than my old Megans. Now the only difference is that my rear doesn't bottom out because on my Megans I had shorter springs in order to go this low, and this is just how low these go with the factory or the out of the box springs. All you have to do is remove 2 collars and it gets this low. These are 18s, by the way. And then the front I can probably go a lot lower, but that's because I have extended lower control arms. If I had stock lower control arms, I would probably not be this low at this height setting. In order to be this low with stock lower control arms, I'd probably have to remove all my collars. But yeah, when you have extended lower control arms, it lowers your car quite a bit. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it useful. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.